Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to WorksheetCloud and to your English lesson. My name is Mrs. Vauger, and we are going to jump straight into our lesson. It's a beautiful day in Johannesburg. I hope it's beautiful where you are too. So let's get started. That's exactly how I feel. The sun is shining my side. We're going to look at our daily starter. We're going to look at prefixes, just recap from our last lesson. And then we're going to look again at root words, but putting on a suffix. Right, let's close those curtains. Right, so our daily starter for today is a word called garth, and it means a yard or a garden. And the original meaning was an open courtyard or hedge or fence. And it comes from the Middle English noun garth or guard or gart. And I just put a picture here of a garth, and this is my very small garth, my very small garden. So try and use it today. Think about your own garden. Maybe you have a very large garth or a very small one. Doesn't matter. Maybe you don't have any garth. Maybe you live in a complex. But doesn't matter. We all have been given what we need. Right, let's take a look. Oh, there comes the word for the day. My animation. Right, so let's jump into our previous recap from last week. We spoke about prefixes and we spoke about the root word. So the root word is help, and most times it does not change when you add a prefix, when you add something at the beginning. So the prefix comes at the beginning. In this situation, the prefix un means not or opposite. So if you are unhelpful, you're not helpful. And then we're going to look now at suffixes, which we just briefly spoke about last week. Is the suffix goes at the end, and sometimes the root word can change. But in this situation, it didn't. So unhelpful means not very full of being helpful, like full of help. So let's take a look at this. So I did put a little picture of my family. I have twins and an older daughter. And so these two, well, this one is actually the youngest out of all three by 2 minutes. So the word is young. If we add a suffix on the end, okay, that est actually means most. So this little one over here is the youngest, the most young out of all three. Now, obviously, we don't say most young, we say youngest, but I'm just trying to explain what the est actually means. Right, and then we've got singer, so there's your root word sing, and we've added the er suffix at the end, and er means one who. So if you take any verb and you can put on er onto it, just try it, so not every verb you can do that, but teach. If I went teacher, that means one who teaches. Okay, let's take a look at the next one, doable. So there's your word do, and you can see all these examples I'm using. The root word has not changed when you've added a suffix, but we're coming to some more difficult ones in a minute. Right, so do, and then we've got able. Able means can be done. So if you add the suffix able onto a word, it means can be done. So in this situation, doable, you are able to do it. Quite simple. Right, so let's take a look at these. Okay, we've got able, which we said is can be done, full, which means full of, and ship means a position of. So if we look at able, it could be avoidable, so it can be avoided. You could do enjoyable, it can be enjoyed, and readable, you are able to read it, or it can be read. Then if we look at full, which means full of, delightful, full of delight, wonderful, full of wonder, painful, full of pain. And I know sometimes we don't even think about these words because we just say, oh, what a wonderful day. But the day actually means full of wonder. And I wonder how many of you are taking time during this lockdown just to be filled with a sense of wonder. Just take time to breathe, to think about things that you're grateful for, even when it's tough. Let's look at the next one, ship, a position of. So we're talking about friendship, you're in a position of having a friend. Ownership, you're in the position of owning something. And spaceship, you're in a position of being in space or being part of something, a spaceship. Right, let's take a look at the next ones. We've got EST, which we spoke about, like youngest. So the most. Less would be without, and ER, one who. So let's look at some examples. So prettiest. Now, do you see there? The word pretty is P-R-E-T-T-Y. But when you add the suffix est, you drop the y and you add an I. So it becomes prettiest. Sweetest, there it stayed the same. So the most sweet, greatest, the most great. Now, obviously, that's incorrect English. So you don't say, he is the most great person. He is the greatest person. Less means without, so motionless is without motion. And if you think of people who are paralyzed, they are motionless. They are unable or without motion, able to move. Mindless, without being mindful of something. Spotless, without a spot. I'd love my house to be spotless at the moment, but juggling a few things, and I can guarantee you these places where it is not spotless. ER, so take the word dance, dancer. Do you see you don't add another E, so it's not dancer, it's just dancer. So only the one E there. Fuller, so more full than something else. Driver, one who drives. Speaker, one who speaks. Right, so just to recap, when adding a suffix to a word, you add the suffix to the end of the word. And sometimes the base word actually changes. Not often, but sometimes it does. So we're going to take a look at some of those. So just to recap these, I love these two little pictures. Suffix full means full of. The suffix less means without. So Liz takes her time and paints with care. And so she's a careful painter. So often we just say, be careful. But what does that mean? It means to be full of care in whatever you're doing. And then suffix means with the less means without. So he's a careless painter. We don't say careless, but that's exactly what it is. It's without care. And so look at these at the bottom. What would it be if you were without a home? You'd be homeless. Good. Full of cheer, cheerful. Without harm. So look there again, without, harmless, good. Full of hope, hopeless. Oh, not hopeless, hopeful, sorry. Without care, we've done that there. Careless. And full of beauty, beautiful. So do you see beautiful? We dropped the Y and we added an I and then F-U-L. So sometimes we say that's beautiful. But do you actually think about what it means? It means full of beauty. Right, let's take a look at these that we've just done. So I just wanted to show you there. You see how we dropped the Y and it became I-F-U-L. Okay, the rest were mostly the same. Now I want you to try these. So I want you to pause the video at this stage and write 1 to 10. I see that it has just moved up a little bit. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no 8, 9, and 10. Apologies for the numbering there. But just do 1 to 10 as they are numbered, and you just need to fill in the word. So you don't need to write out the whole sentence, just fill in the word, and when we come back, we'll go through it together. Great. And really identify what you've put. So as you've written those words down, have you identified what the suffix is that you're adding? And sometimes the word changes, so be careful. Look at it and think, does it change? Right, are you ready? Here we go. Mary is a great drummer. Do you see that you had to add on another M, drummer? Magic Johnson was a fabulous basketball player, one who plays. The brightness of the sun made me put on my glasses. My collection is very expensive. I received an acceptance letter. That was quite a tough one. The teacher wants to see a great improvement in my grades. Right, these two, you can see the words actually changed. I want to file a grievance. So it's A-N-C-E and you drop the E. And I want to experience much happiness. So especially when you've got those Y's, remember to drop the Y, add an I, and then the suffix happiness. The young brother can be an annoyance to his sister. Well done, guys. Right, so these are the ones that I need you to watch out for. So when you change these nouns by adding ISE or IFY or EN, I want you to see how it changes. So let's look at this one. say it to yourself. Could you say glory eyes? Doesn't sound right. Glorify? That sounds right. You can glorify somebody. And glory in? No. So the one for this one, you're going to add ISE and think about what happens there with the Y. Terror, can you say terrorize? Good. You could say terrify. You can terrify somebody. And terrorin? No. So try and write those two using the ISE and the IFY suffix. Liquid, could you say liquidize? You can. Liquefy? You can. Liquidin? No. So try that one as well with those two suffixes. And appetite, appetize. You could use appetify? No. Appeten? No. So try appetite with the one eyes. And then E, can you say moisturize? You can. Moisturify? Moisturify. I'm not sure about that one. And moisturin? No. So try those, and when we come back, we'll go through and see if you've got the spelling correct. Off you go. Right, let's see how you did. Right, we've got glorify. So you dropped the Y from glory and you added IFY. Terrorize, you dropped the Y, you didn't drop anything there, you just added on ISE, so that one didn't change. Liquefy, you didn't say liquidfy, you said liquefy, drop the D. Appetize, do you see how you dropped the TE and added on the SE? And moisturize, you also dropped the URE and added on ISE, moisturize. So there are some really tricky ones out there, so really make sure that you're alert. We've got some more for you to try, and I just wanted to show you these. Baptize, we put on baptism. Sorry, let me move my face there. Baptism, ISM. Do you see how we took the Z away? ISM, baptism. Produce, if I want to say production, do you see that one changed completely? So you took the E away, TION, production. Pollute becomes pollution. Arrive, the arrival of somebody, drop the E, AL. Discover, re. Okay, so discovery, just add on a Y. Refusal, so there can be a refusal. You refuse to do something, you are giving a refusal. So it's AL, you drop the E, and then destroy. Wow, look at that one. So you can't say destroyin, destroyee, destroyal, destroyism. You say destruction. So that dropped the O and the Y and put on the UCTION, destruction. Right, so sorry, I wanted to just play from this current slide because we've got a video for you to watch.
Can you hear what fits before the root of the word, before the word is heard? That's a prefix, there it sits. Once it becomes applied, the word is modified. Like this, discover, try, triangle, submarine, subterranean, in some way. Now that the word has changed, there will be something new for us to say. Can you hear what fits after the root of a word, after the word is heard? That's a suffix, there it sits. Once it becomes applied, the word is modified. Like full, eventful, beginning, ness, happiness, thoughtfulness, goodness, and kindness. Now that the word has changed, there will be something new for us to say. Here's a few prefixes just for you. Empty, counter, extra, hyper, ultra, semi, just to name a few. Now then we know what suffixes do. Each and every able eyes will help you too. And it's true, some words have two. Reconstruction, disagreement, unlikely reaction. Now that the words have changed,
Awesome. I hope you enjoyed that. You can watch it a few times, just obviously to recap. And we've obviously come to the end of our lesson. Just remember there's going to be an activity for you to do in this section. I know it says sentences. That was an old lesson, but it would have said root words and suffixes, and then you're going to have some activities for you to do. And then just remember you can email me anytime about today's lesson on root words and suffixes at grade6@worksheetcloud.com. And so nothing more from me except to say I'll see you soon, and remember, same time, same place. Bye, grade 6s.